What's up? This is Ben from WODprep, and in this video, this is lesson 5 of our 5-part series of the 5 movements you must know going into the CrossFit Open. So this is the final lesson, and this lesson's a little bit unique, and that's because we're covering a movement that doesn't always show up in the CrossFit Open, and that's the strict handstand push-up. So Ben, why would we practice strict handstand push-ups if we don't even know that they're going to show up? Well, that's because when you learn strict handstand push-ups, not only will it separate you from thousands of other people, if strict handstand push-ups do show up in the open and you can't do them, you're screwed because they take a lot of time to learn and they require a decent amount of strength. So if you can't do them, you can't do them, and then your workout is officially over. And anyone that can do one strict handstand push-up will climb the leaderboard and pass you by thousands of places. So we have that. But then also the carryover from strict handstand push-ups into other common open movements is very beneficial. So if you know how to do strict handstand push-ups and you have the strength and the mobility and the body awareness to be able to do that, then you're probably going to be pretty good at kipping handstand push-ups because they require a little bit less strength. And they might show up in the open. You're also probably going to be better at something like handstand walks, because if you have the strength to do strict handstand push-ups, then your control when you practice handstand walks is going to be better. And then last but not least, a common movement that showed up recently in the open and other workouts is the wall walk. Well, guess what? When we finally have the strength and mobility to do strict handstand push-ups, wall walks get a heck of a lot easier and a lot less fatiguing. So if we learn strict handstand push-ups, not only will it make it better at that movement, it's going to help us get better at a lot of other movements that will thus increase our open performance. So when it comes to handstand push-ups, I'm going to teach you in the simplest way that I know how, and that's with minimal equipment. All you need to develop a handstand push-up, specifically a strict one, ideally is a wall and some sort of mat or padding. So right now I have the wall set up. This is the RX standard for handstand push-ups. So the tape is 10 inches away from the wall. So this is 10 inches away from the wall, and then it's 30 inches wide. It's really important that when you're practicing your handstand push-ups, you do them to the open standard. Too often I see people just doing handstand push-ups on a wall, but their hands are really, really wide, and they think they're the world's greatest handstand push-upper, but they can't stick to the standard. So it's really important that you have this tape set up so that when you actually kick up to do a handstand push-up, your hands are on the tape and you know that it's an RX rep. Because if you can only do the handstand push-ups with your hands really wide, or maybe they're too far away from the wall, then they're actually not going to count when it comes time to do the open. So that's kind of the first tip, is make sure you're always practicing to the standard. The next tip is, even if you feel like you don't have the strength to do a handstand push-up, we can still develop the handstand push-up by kicking up on the wall and doing what I call handstand push-up negatives. So let's say you're someone who's like, Ben, I can hardly even kick up to the wall. What you're going to want to do is maybe take a couple more pads or mats, or you could take an ab mat, or maybe stack a couple bumper plates and then put ab mats on top of it. But let's say you're someone that has very little handstand push-up experience. As long as you can kick up to the wall, we can still develop that handstand push-up strength. So I'm going to put my hands on the tape, I'm going to kick up, and then I'm going to do what's called a negative. A negative is simply where I'm lowering my body down until my head touches the mat, which now is elevated, so it shortens the range of motion. It's going to be a lot easier. And then once my head gets to the mat, I just drop and relax. Here's what it looks like. So hands on the tape, I kick up, maybe hold here for a little bit, and then I'm just slowly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My head touches, and then I drop down. Do you want to learn how to do movements like this? Or maybe even like this? Then you should join WODprep Academy. Inside of WODprep Academy, we have training courses that teach you how to RX pretty much every CrossFit skill imaginable. It's a low annual fee, and it comes with a complete money-back guarantee. So if you want to finally learn how to do double unders, bar muscle-ups, toes to bar, handstand push-ups, handstand walks, Olympic weightlifting, running, biking, rowing, and so much more, including mobility, it's all inside WODprep Academy. Go to wodprep.com/academy to learn more. That is a great drill to develop that handstand push-up strength, because as we're lowering ourselves down nice and slowly from the top It's going to help develop all the muscles needed to do a strict handstand push-up. Let's say you get really proficient at doing maybe 5 or 6 of those reps, and it's like, man, it's not that hard. I can keep a slow tempo, it feels great. Well, all we need to do simply is remove a mat or remove some height, and now we've increased the range of motion, and we can still work on that strict handstand push-up strength. So now, as you'll notice, when I practice these reps, now I have to lower myself a lot farther, and it's a longer range of motion. So I'm developing strength in a longer range of motion for that strict handstand push-up. Another thing that we can be doing, other than just negatives, and obviously if I wanted to make it harder, I could remove this pad. Heck, I could even start doing deficit negatives. That's fine too. That's going to help develop strength. Another way to develop strength is by doing partial range of motion handstand push-ups. So again, I can take my pads, create as much elevation as I need to be able to accumulate reps, and now I'm doing handstand push-ups to an elevated platform. So again, hands on the tape, because I always want to stick to the standard, and I'm going to go down, touch my head, press up. And as you can see, I've shortened the range of motion. It's a lot easier to accumulate reps. After we've developed the strength required to do partial range of motion, strict handstand push-ups, just take away a pad. Reduce the height for our head to hit. And now when I do handstand push-ups here, I've increased the range of motion. It's going to be a lot harder, but I can develop strength in a broader range for the handstand push-up. And then of course, once I can accumulate reps with this, take it away, okay? It's not going to happen overnight, but there's all kinds of other little drills. We can use dumbbells. We can do all kinds of other strengthening exercises. But the bottom line is that if you're right on the edge of learning handstand push-ups, the best thing that you can do to develop that strength is to get upside down on the wall, because that feels a little weird, right? Get upside down on the wall, and then use these simple progressions to develop strength for the full range of motion of the handstand push-up. So that means the lowering phase, develop strength by doing tempo negatives in the handstand push-up, all the way down to fully RX, or even deficit if you want. And then next, we're going to practice the actual handstand push-ups with a reduced range of motion, and then eventually all the way to RX. If we practice that and we do it consistently, I assure you that over time, if you practice a couple times a week, you will increase your shoulder strength and mobility and stability in your core to where you'll be able to do RX handstand push-ups. And even if you can't get all the way to be able to do strict handstand push-ups, in the development of this strength, you will get better at handstand walks, hypothetically. That's an advanced one though. You'll also get better at kipping handstand push-ups because you're developing that shoulder strength and mobility. You're also going to get better at wall walks because the more time we spend upside down developing that strength and that body awareness and that positioning, the better we will be at the upside down movements. So with that, I hope that that simple progression teaches you how to increase your strict handstand push-up strength. So hopefully this video gives you a couple key tips and strategies to help you make sure you are ready when strict handstand push-ups or other movements show up in the CrossFit Open this next open time. If you're someone that wants to learn about all the other skills that you need to develop before the CrossFit Open to maximize your score, including all the free resources and discounts to go with it, I invite you to join our free training guide. It's called WODprep's Ultimate Open Prep Guide. It's going to help you get ready for the Open so that you can maximize your score, learn all the skills, and like I said, there's a few sweet discounts in there as well. I want to send you that completely free. All you have to do is go to the link in the description below, or it's pinned to the top comment, or just type in the URL that you see on this screen. It's going to take you to a page. You're going to enter your name and email, and then I'm going to send you all of that free training material, completely free, to your email inbox so that you can be ready for the next CrossFit Open, hopefully RX every workout, and get your best score ever. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, smash the subscribe button, that way you don't miss any of our open content, because remember, we work our butts off to try to bring you the best open strategy guides, and from what people tell us, apparently we have some of the best open strategy guides on the internet. So if you don't want to miss any of that, be sure to hit the subscribe button, and I will see you in next week's video. Peace. Did you know that if you hit the subscribe button, you could win $10 billion? No, I'm just kidding. That's a complete lie. But I would really appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button. Maybe even gave me a thumbs up, because that helps WODprep get more views on this channel. Thank you so much. Smash the subscribe button, thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video.